I welcome all serial lovers to our channel. Today we have prepared for you a selection of interesting series of various genres that can be missed. The series opens today's selection. 1899. Fans of mystical mysteries may like the series travel across time and space. The story begins on board a ship traveling from London to New York. Wealthy passengers occupy the best cabins on the upper deck. A group of European migrants leave London on a steamship to start a new life. 4 months ago, the ship Prometheus with more than 1,000 passengers disappeared on this route aboard. And suddenly they too are in danger. When they encounter another vessel drifting downstream on the high seas, there the trip turns into a nightmare. The woman Dr. Maura Franca is also obsessed with the missing Prometheus ship. After all, she is worried about the fate of her brother who was on board. Therefore, when the news comes that a ship, possibly Prometheus, gives a distress signal, she asks the captain to let her board aboard it to help the survivors. Excited rescuers arrive on the scene, but find only one person on the ship, a boy who prefers to remain silent about what happened here and where the people disappeared to. Funny Woman, 2023. The story takes place in Great Britain. The main character of the film is a young and ambitious girl, Barbara Parker, who lives in a provincial town and works at a confectionery factory. Since childhood, Barbara dreamed of becoming an actress and succeeding in life, but she did not left her dream. Later, the main character goes to conquer the capital. In London, before looking for her dream job, Barbara finds an apartment with a neighbor around Marjorie's room, who is convinced that all actresses are nothing but ordinary whores. And Barbara begins to be convinced of this when she meets a disrespectful person by theatrical agent Brian. Then she gets a job in a clothing store, but this is not enough for her. She wants more. Little by little, Barbara is turning into a glamorous capital girl, but she wants to perform on the big stage. Once the girl meets an elderly man named Valentine, who begins nice to take care of her. Barbara sees him as an influential personality who can help her realize her dream and achieve the desired. However, as a result, Valentine does not behave in the best way and begins to behave with the main character as a woman of easy behavior. Barbara does not like this and decides to stay away from him. She decides to apply for a beauty contest held at the resort, the town of Blackpool, and unexpectedly wins it, receiving the title of Miss. Now Barbara has a new dream: to appear on television. The Watcher. In the center of the plot is a married couple who are raising 2 children. They move into a new house, hoping that this place will allow them to start life from a clean slate, leaving misunderstandings and resentments in the past. However, their idyll is disrupted by strange messages left under the door, a mysterious stranger who calls himself the Watcher. Every day, the heroes feel more and more in danger. Will they be able to find way out of the situation, and what does the stranger need from their family? If you have already seen this series, please write a review comment to help other viewers will decide whether or not to watch this series. Dirty Games. The Company You Keep. Country, USA. Charlie and Emma meet in an ordinary bar. He is a yoga teacher and she is a researcher. But in reality, Charlie is a cunning swindler who wants to start life with a clean slate. But to do this, he needs to pay off his debts to one very dangerous person. Emma is an employee of the Special Services who is used to investigating the most complicated crimes. In the course of another case, the heroine gets close to a bandit, to whom Charlie owes a lot amount of money. And, of course, such a strange coincidence very soon leads to the unpredictable consequences. Everything suggests that fate has prepared a lot of surprises for the heroes, and that's why you need to carefully monitor the events happening around you. And any mistake can cause the most terrible disaster. The English genre, drama, Western year, USA. The action takes place in the Wild West. English aristocrat Cornelia Locke enlists the help of former Pawnee cavalry scout Eli Whippy to find the man she believes is responsible for her son's death. The thirst for revenge leads the heroine and her companion to the town of Hoxham in the state of Wyoming, which was shaken by a wave of mysterious and brutal murders. Together with Whippy, the local sheriff, and widow Martha Mayer, Cornelia tries to unravel the mystery of mystical crimes. The solution to the event has its roots in the distant past and in an incredible way combines the fates of the main characters. The Peripheral. The events of the series take place in the future. At this time, people manage to take a step forward in the field of cybernetics. However, all is not so well, because humanity is on the verge of extinction due to lack resources. A girl lives at this time. The heroine's name is Flynn. He has a brother who works testing games where virtual reality is involved. Once a boy asks his sister for help. He needs to leave. That's why the guy needs a replacement at work. You don't need to do anything special. Just be present in the game for a couple hours. Flynn agrees and enters the game. According to the plot, The player has to take and control the drone and move it through the empty streets of a big city. The girl is surprised at how realistic the world is in this development, but she knows what technology has come a long way and this is possible. Suddenly she sees a murder taking place. Some man treats a woman. The corpse was occupied by nano-robots. The criminal spots the drone, but the poor thing manages to escape. Soon the girl realizes that the murder was real. A real hunt begins for her. Romantic and sad serial drama at the same time. This story began when the American Amy did everything against her parents. She interrupted her law studies to study art in Florence. She was determined to study and had no plans to start a relationship. However, fate had its way. At an Italian resort, by coincidence, the heroine Amy will meet Lino. They actually fall in love with each other and move to the States. Unexpectedly, fate arranges a test. The main character cannot cope with a terrible disease and dies. A woman who has turned into a single mother, who has to overcome all difficulties. Help Me Todd. Todd works as a private investigator. He does not like formalities, so he prefers work for yourself as a talented and very ambitious young man. The main character of the series Help Me Todd always helps their customers. One day, as a result of many unforeseen events, Todd loses his license. He does not know what to do next, but he understands that he cannot live without his favorite business. It is at this moment that the domineering mother, who works as a lawyer, appears on the doorstep. She offers him to become an employee in her company. At first, he is skeptical of such a proposal. He is not very happy combine family life and work. However, later he still gives his consent and begins to practice. Now Todd and his mother will deal with difficult cases of clients together, solving family conflicts along the way. The only question is whether they will be able to work, because the mother does not accept workarounds ways, and Todd does not know how to work otherwise. Write in the comments which series you will watch first. At first, he is skeptical of such a proposal. He is not very happy combine family life and work. Conspiracy of the Harvey Sisters. A detective comedy with black humor for those who adore series in style Desperate Housewives. In the center of this story were the Harvey sisters, who can become an example of mutuality, support each other. After the death of their parents, they promised that they would provide all possible support to their relatives in any, even the most extraordinary situation. Years passed, but soon, a serious test awaits them. The funeral was again the reason for their joint meeting. The event is not the most pleasant, but judging by the behavior of the women, the fate of the deceased is of little concern. They are not serious about this tragedy, as if their participation in this event is purely for the tick, which is surprising, given their relative closeness to this person. Only the further state of affairs will be complicated by even greater strangeness. Soon the insurance company will start asking rather uncomfortable questions related to with the death of this person. After all, the girls receive a certain financial benefit from his death, and therefore they can be the culprits of the event. Suspicions force the sisters to defend common family interests dictated by the old promise. This was the last series of today's selection, but there will be many more. I will keep trying for you. That's all I have. Subscribe if you haven't already, to stay up to date with new videos. Bye.